We all know someone that talks about their goals and ambitions. Maybe you've been that person. Or maybe you still are. Maybe you have found yourself in those moments where you have told yourself, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to start working out. Or whatever you desire. And for a moment, it feels good to say it. People nod, they cheer you on. But the next day, nothing changes. Because talking never builds anything. Words without embodiment are just as smoke. They rise, they disappear, and they leave nothing behind. And here's the truth. The real problem isn't that you don't know what to do. It's that you don't dare to become the person that you want to be. Look at the world we live in. Noise, distraction, endless comparison. We scroll, we watch, we talk. We spend countless of hours looking at what others are doing, what others have, and what others think. Every moment you give away to that is a moment stolen from your power to create your own life. Social media isn't progress. It's an escape. It numbs you, just enough to forget that time is slipping away. Time that you will never get back again. You cannot build your dream while staring at someone else's. You cannot find yourself while running from yourself. So why do people keep talking instead of acting? There can be several reasons, but I think the core reason is fear. The fear of failing, fear of responsibility, fear of facing your true self. Because the moment you really start facing yourself, the excuses die. You can't say, one day I will anymore. You can't. Nor you can't hide behind circumstances. All there is left is just you, your choices, and your results, your responsibility. And I think that terrifies most people. This is also why Neville Goddard said in his teachings, the old version of you must die. The version that seeks validation from others. The version that waits for permission. And also the version that blames circumstances and reacts to every little thing outside. That self has to go. Because you cannot be both the victim and the creator. One of them has to die for the other to live. And this death, it's not physical, but it's real. It is the death of distractions. The death of excuses. The death of giving your full power away. And only when that old self dies can the true creator in you be born. Why do I share this? Because I've been in the same trap too. And you know, even when I did act, sometimes it was forced. Discipline without alignment. Grinding without flow. But here's what changed. When I began to feel myself as already being what I wanted, what I desired, everything shifted. And this applies to everything in my life. Just to mention a few examples how I apply this to my life. When I sit at the piano, for example, I don't just practice. I feel myself and harmonize with the piano and feel myself as a pianist. I harmonize with the feeling as I already am a professional pianist. And the same feeling, the same harmonization goes on every single thing in my entire life. When I go to the gym, when I train, when I work out, when I practice a language, or whatever I want to attract in my life, I apply the same feeling as I already have it in my life. From that state, action flows naturally. It's not forced. It's not strained, but inevitable. And this is Neville Goddard's law. Quote, your outer world is only a shadow of your inner state. If you're first trying to change the outer world without first changing the inner world, it's like trying to fix the reflection in the mirror by scratching the glass. Well, what you really have to change is the one who stands in front of the mirror, not the mirror itself. Your attention, your focus is your life force. Scatter it outward into noise and distraction, and it dissolves into absolutely nothing. But focus it inward on who you already are becoming. It becomes a stream, powerful enough to carve through rock. Where your attention goes, your life follows. So here's the practice. Next time you'll catch yourself saying, "One day I will," stop it right there. Instead, ask yourself this question: how would it feel if you already had what you desired? For example, if you want to write a book, don't keep saying, "I'll be a writer someday." Instead, feel yourself as an author who has already written. If you desire health, don't say, "I'll get in shape." Feel the aliveness in your body now. If you want to learn a language, don't say, "I'm trying." Feel yourself as someone who's already communicating with ease. Assume the state, live it inside, harmonize with it until it becomes natural, and then watch as your outer world bends to match your harmonization. To wrap this up, my friends, ask yourself this: what part of you still needs to die? The self that waits? The self that reacts? The self that seeks validation outside? Because your outer world will never change until your inner world does. And the moment you embody who you wish to be, now everything else must follow. Assume it, live it, become it. As Neville Goddard said in his teachings, quote, "There is no one to change but self. Change yourself within, and the world cannot help but follow." Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.